2 other people.
Wait a minute, somebody else?
The guy that I caught her with, he's not even listed under there, but there was somebody else's name under that same file as mine.
Judge Lauren has seen her fair share of outrageous cases, but nothing could prepare her for this. When a mother stepped into the courtroom, what followed was a tangled web of excuses, contradictions, and flat-out lies. As the truth began to unravel, Judge Lauren's frustration turned to shock and then to pure disgust. Brace up, because here is the juice. Mr. Lillard says that he was forced to open his case after receiving a massage last year from Ms. Holt's 20-year-old son. Ms. Holt says that she has unsuccessfully tried for 20 years to get Mr. Lillard to accept responsibility for her son, and today is the day he is finally going to accept the truth. This is how the case begins.
Mr. Lillard, you say you were forced to open this case after receiving a message last year from Ms. Holt's 20-year-old son, Delvin Holt.
Ha 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 ha. I'm sure everyone knows what he means by a lot of experiences. Mr. Lillard starts by saying that he met Ms. Holt back in high school and he was in love with her. Seems like they had a beautiful relationship. But if that's the case, how then is he denying her son and has not been in his life for over 20 years?
So,
Ms. do with him.
Ms. Holt, tell me about the relationship. What do you remember?
We was in a good relationship. We really didn't have any problems.
Aha! Now that's the juice we've been waiting for. Ms. Holt admits that she loved him and does not deny the fact that Mr. Lillard was a sweet man to her. The judge then proceeds to ask how things went sideways, and Mr. Lillard responded by saying it all went down the drain when he caught Ms. Holt cheating.
Through the peephole?
It wasn't even like that.
See shadows moving all around?
No.
Through the peephole?
Tiptoeing towards the door?
No.
So I parked myself on that concrete
Your Honor.
steady.
He might be laughing about it now, but you can tell that must have been one crazy situation. Ms. Lillard tells the judge that he remembers Ms. Holt not being at school one day, and when he went to her house to check if she was okay, he caught her with another man in the house.
I knew he was outside knocking on my door also.
But if you have a steady boyfriend, why are you leaving school with another boy and going to lock yourself in the house in the daytime and skipping school?
That's true. That's true, Your Honor.
Well, that changes the dynamic of everything. Ms. Holt admits that she did actually have another man in the house, but nothing happened. She goes on to say that she was already pregnant, so she couldn't have sex with another man, and she knows for a fact that Mr. Lillard was the only man she had unprotected sex with.
He says I'm pregnant.
There you go.
You remember the day she told you?
Honestly, no, I try to block out my mind after that.
Darius was not present during any point of my pregnancy. He was not present any point of...
With the expression he just gave, I don't think he believes he is the father of her son. Ms. Holt tells the judge that Mr. Lillard was not present for the pregnancy. After her son was born, she reached out to Mr. Lillard. Due to the fact that he was still upset about her having another man in her house, he denied her sim and said he was not the father.
Your Honor, my mom has always told me he was my father, and I just basically came here to let him know I don't need a father, but I just really want to come to find out.
They actually do look alike. Ms. Cherry's son finally speaks, and he says that he wants Mr. Lillard to know that he doesn't really need a father. He just wants to know if Mr. Lillard is actually his biological father so he can make his peace with it and his mother can get the closure she wants.
After she called me years later, she asked me, could I do this? Well, I'm already in the system. Go down there, take him down there, and have him tested. We did.
They look just alike, Your Honor.
Now that's very weird. Mr. Lillard tells the judge that he actually did try to get a DNA test done. When he went back to the court to get the results from the DNA test he had done, he was told that there were no records of him taking a DNA test in their system. I'm not buying that story.
I've had 4 of them done. If there's any kind of discrepancy with any woman I sleep with, I ain't worried about no child. But go on down there. Come on, let's go. Ain't no shame in my game. I'd rather know our child is mine now than later.
Haha, now Ms. Holt has a lot of explaining to do. The judge asked Mr. Lillard why he reached out to the court before this case, and he said he actually did. But here's the thing. He found out that another person's name was under their case, and it was not even the guy Ms. Holt had in the house. Imagine that.
Ms. Holt, did you test another man?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, I did. I had another guy tested, and he was not the father. And that was because I was dealing with him before me and Darius had got together.
Phew, at least she admitted to having another man tested. She says that the results of the test she took with the other man showed that he was not the father. Well, let's see if the results from this case are going to reveal that Mr. Lillard is the father of her son. Here are the results.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Lillard, you are not the father.
Ms. Lester has opened her case today against Mr. Lewis because he is denying fathering her only because she refuses to have sex with him. She wants him to step up and be a father once the results show that he fathered her son. Mr. Lewis says that Ms. Lester was sleeping with several men and there's no way he can be the father. This case starts like this.
It's against Mr. Lewis because you say he denies fathering your 21-month-old son, Raiden.
Yes, Your Honor.
Only because you won't have sex with him.
Wow. Ms. Lester tells the judge that they plan to have a baby, and because of that, they never used protection anytime they kicked it in bed. If they talked about having a baby numerous times, why then is Mr. Lewis denying the baby?
Because if you decided to have unprotected sex with me as well, whether or not you knew the history of whether or not I was sleeping with multiple men.
Okay, but listen, the bottom line is let's use respect.
How did it all go wrong? Let's hope that message sticks in his head and he learns to be respectful with his words. Judge Lauren asked him why he believes he is not the father of the he-child, and he says that Ms. Lester is known by everyone to be someone who likes to sleep around with several men.
Seen her at a grocery store one day. She was with another man then, so I didn't say nothing. When I seen her on Facebook, I inboxed her. She inboxed me back saying,
Seems like they both remember things from different perspectives. Mr. Lewis tells the judge that he slept with her the first night they met, while Ms. Lester tells the judge that it took a while before they started having sex, and the only reason she agreed was because they planned to have a baby.
And what do you say, Mr. Lewis, when she says I'm pregnant? Take me to that day.
I called her. She tells me she's pregnant. I asked her, who's the father? She tells me I am. So I'm like, okay.
If there's anything we can agree on, it's the fact that these two can't seem to agree on anything. Ms. Lester says that she told Mr. Lewis the day she was going to have the baby, but didn't tell him the day she actually had her son. Mr. Lewis denies it and says that she never mentioned to him the day she was going to have her child.
At the hospital?
At the hospital, he cut the umbilical cord and he signed the birth certificate. So how am I the father?
She definitely has a lot of explaining to do. Mr. Lewis says that another man cut the umbilical cord for the baby and has his name signed as the father on the birth certificate of the child. What's funny is that Ms. Lester doesn't even deny it at all. There are so many loopholes with their story.
If I've told you once, I even enlightened him on the days that I was scheduled to go see the doctor during my pregnancy. He didn't want to forsake that, so no, I'm not going to follow you.
I mean, that's a very valid question. Well, Ms. Lester says that she allowed another man so sign the birth certificate because Mr. Lewis did not want to step up and take responsibility. She even says that she had sex with the other man 2 weeks before she slept with Mr. Lewis and found out she was pregnant.
And you've been sexually active with her for those 10 years?
Not at all, Your Honor.
Stop lying, man. Quit fronting.
When I got in the picture, Raiden was already, I say, 3 to 4 months.
Right.
Well, it's good to know that she is in good hands. Ms. Lester's fiancé steps up to the podium and he says that he believes Mr. Lewis is the father of the child. What's funny is that he and Ms. Lester have been in a relationship for about 10 years and they have never slept with each other.
And like,
he's delusional. Like, he's jealous of the fact that I'm with him. Normally, I would have him in this loop where I'm having sex.
And there we go again with the yelling. Phew, we've definitely seen enough people. The results have made their way to the judge's table. It's time to see who the real father of the child is. Here is the judge's verdict.
21-month-old Raiden. It has been determined by Mr. Lewis are not the father.
Ms. Cherry claims that Mr. Johnson is her father, even though this is the first time she has ever seen him in person. She also claims that she knows he doesn't believe he is her father, but she says that he is the only man that she has been told is her biological father, and she hopes that the results will prove just that. This is how she starts her case.
You know he does not believe that he is your biological father, but you claim this is the only man you've ever been told is your dad. Mr. Johnson, you admit.
Wow, that's actually a very horrible thing to say to someone. Ms. Cherry says that the results are important to her because she hopes to find closure. She says that some of her family members told her that her parents didn't love her and that's why they gave her up for adoption.
She's ever been told it's her biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And yet you admittedly have not been there.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you don't know.
This is going to be one dicey case. Mr. Johnson tells Judge Lauren that he does not believe he is Ms. Cherry's father, because in the past he was told that he was her biological father, and just after getting to hear that, another family member told him that he was no longer the father of Ms. Cherry. I wonder how that works.
Remember the relationship with her mother?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you meet? Tell me about that relationship.
At the time, in 1985, my girlfriend was also pregnant and she had left to go to Ohio.
Looks like we're starting to uncover the mystery. Mr. Johnson confesses and tells the judge that he had a girlfriend who traveled for a bit, and while she was away, he and Ms. Cherry's mother kicked it in bed. He admits to sleeping with her mother, but says it happened just once.
Do you find out?
Yes, I found out through the neighborhood. People in the neighborhood just were coming up to me and telling me, "Congratulations on your daughter," and I was saying, "I'm having a son."
And that right there is another confession. Mr. Johnson tells the judge that he found out she was pregnant through the people in the neighborhood. They kept telling him congratulations when everyone knew Ms. Cherry's mother was pregnant. He then goes on to say that he didn't believe he was the father because the timeline did not add up.
I went to the hospital to visit my son who had been born. And when I got to the hospital, someone had said, "Are you here to see your daughter?"
Oh wow, I wasn't expecting to hear that. Apparently, Mr. Johnson's girlfriend at the time was pregnant with his son. When he went to the hospital, he saw Ms. Cherry's mother and her grandmother in the same hospital where his son had just been born. Instead of stopping to know what was going on, he walked past them and went straight to his girlfriend's room.
I had already been told that I was not the father, but now again—
Who told you you weren't the father at that time?
Someone in Jennifer's family that was threatening me to step up as her father.
I just love the fact that he is being very honest about the whole situation. He says that he walked past them in the hospital because a family member already told him that he was not the father of Ms. Cherry. He then goes on to say that he went with the story because he already had a son and wasn't ready to be the father of two kids who had different mothers.
You have these moments where you say that you have the opportunity to settle this, to get closure, to have resolution to this. And it seems like you keep evading this process. Whether you say you—
Well, he doesn't have a choice now. The funny thing is that Mr. Johnson had so many opportunities to reach out and find out if Ms. Cherry was his biological daughter, but he did not proceed with any of them. Let's just say he was young at the time and he didn't want the stress of having to cater to another child.
That spelling, but we found someone with this spelling. It was him, the only Perez Johnson in Pittsburgh that was on Facebook. So I sent him a message on Facebook.
Trust me, anyone would break down in tears if they received that message. Ms. Cherry actually reached out to Mr. Johnson on Facebook, telling him that she could be his daughter. He replied to the message by saying that he initially didn't think he was, but after going through her pictures, he very much believes he could be her father.
I had to grow up without a father, and I'm willing to do DNA for you, but I believe 99% you are. I've always waited for you to contact me. Wow.
At this point, I don't even know what to say. Mr. Johnson still sticks to his story and tells the judge that he believes he is her father because there's a resemblance. Well, the results are in, and I think that's the only thing that can put the case to rest. Let's see what the results have to say.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Johnson, you are not the father.
Ms. Smith is in court today because she claims that a miscalculation during her pregnancy has left her unsure about the paternity of her son. She hopes to determine today if her ex-boyfriend or the defendant, Mr. Brooker, is the father of the child. Mr. Brooks looking furious as hell, saying that his fiancée, Ms. Smith, has always made him doubtful, and he wants to find the trust today. This is how the case begins.
Ms. Smith, you are here in court today because you claim a miscalculation during your pregnancy has left you unsure about the paternity of your 4-month-old son, Lamondre.
Looks like we're in for a ride. Mr. Brooker says that his detective work has left him with questionable evidence and he wants to get to the bottom of the case. He even says that he has always been doubtful about the child and he feels like Ms. Smith has not been totally honest with him.
And then once that happened, I was like really starting to like him and be interested. And a couple of weeks later, next month in September,
Haha, that's a new one. Well, Mr. Brooker and Ms. Smith both agree that they met at a party. Ms. Smith said that she started to mess with him after she ended things with her boyfriend. A couple of months after they started having sex, she found out she was pregnant, and it seemed like Mr. Brooker was initially happy about the baby.
Or who it was, and we were the only, me and her ex were the only two dudes that she was with during the time.
Okay, so she was open with you about that?
Basically, she was open and she was honest and straightforward, and I was cool about it.
That's actually beautiful. Mr. Brooker has built an amazing bond with the child. Even though he had doubts about the child, he still took care of the child like his own. What's crazy is that Ms. Smith was actually very open with him that there could be two possibilities.
At July 17th.
All right.
Okay, in September, these are the dates I actually went to the doctor, and they gave me a due date of April 9th. And they said I was 8 or 9 weeks pregnant.
Right, which lines up with the...
Oh, now it makes sense. Apparently Ms. Smith went to more than one doctor, and the first one gave her a due date that showed Mr. Brooker as the possible father. When she went to the second doctor, he then gave her a due date that showed that her ex could be the possible father of her child. That just puts her in a very tight spot for real.
It can be very inaccurate. At the third visit, she has an ultrasound which clearly dates her at 7 weeks pregnant. So the doctor revises the due date.
For her sake, let's hope that's true. Judge Lauren brings in an expert to help her understand how she can have two different due dates. The expert explains the condition, and everything she says leads to Mr. Brooker being the father of her child. She says she didn't sleep with anyone else, so let's hope that's true.
Dr. Gator, so that was a lot. And so because of this, Mr. Brooker, you had doubts.
I had doubts, I did, but at the same time,
That's fair. Mr. Brooker says that they already spoke about the whole situation, and he told Ms. Smith that he would be there for the child regardless of who the father was. He also said he did not sign the birth certificate because he wanted to have a DNA test done before agreeing to put his signature on anything.
Due date shifting and everything going on. What were you telling your ex? Because he thought he was the father, at least a strong potential, right?
Right.
So what were you telling him?
I'm not even going to lie. That would have been scary if they all went to the same doctor's appointments. Well, Ms. Smith says that her ex told her that he would want to be part of the child's life if it happens that he is the father. Oh well, we've had just about enough. Let's get down to the DNA test, shall we?
Mr. Brooker, you are not his father.
Mr. Williams says that from the moment he saw Quenisha Mayberry, he believed she was his daughter, even though the defendant claims that he is not her father. He hopes the results from the case today will show that he is indeed her biological father. Ms. Wynn, on the other hand, says that she has never given Mr. Williams reason to think that Mayberry is his daughter. Their case begins this way.
Mr. Williams, from the moment you saw Quenisha Mayberry, you believe that she is your biological daughter, even though the defendant claimed you are not.
About a week after she was born, wow. One would think Ms. Wynn never wanted him to be the father, and she kept Mayberry away from him after she was born. It's not surprising. She already said she knows who the real father is, and as far as she is concerned, it is not Mr. Williams.
He's not her father, Your Honor. Color don't mean nothing, you know, because he light-skinned and she light-skinned, the other guy is dark-skinned, I'm dark-skinned. That don't prove that he's her father.
It sure doesn't.
I know who's her father.
At least that fact has been cleared. Mr. Williams says that Ms. Wynn always tried to get his attention. They did mess around a couple of times, but they were never in an actual relationship. It was just them kicking it in bed, and they seemed to enjoy each other's company a lot.
Wynn, how do you remember your relationship with Mr. Williams? Can you take me back?
I don't remember.
Wait, what?
I don't remember at all. If he said it happened, it must have happened.
Well, that's a first. After Judge Lauren asked Mr. Williams about his relationship with Ms. Wynn, she moved on to ask Ms. Wynn what her relationship was with Mr. Williams. And to everyone's surprise, she said she couldn't remember having a sexual relationship with Mr. Williams. She can't be serious.
What still don't prove he's the father?
No, it doesn't. Look, she about to take my job, Jerome.
Sorry.
No, walking past the store doesn't prove he's the father. You're correct. I'm trying to get to...
I'm sorry, but nothing about what Ms. Wynn is saying makes any sense. She says that she was okay with Mr. Williams coming to take her child and play with her, but she says she can't remember ever having a sexual or romantic relationship with him. Even Judge Lauren can't seem to understand Ms. Wynn.
Came and got her for like my nieces and nephews' birthday parties. I used to go get her so she can come and play with the other kids. And I would keep her the duration of the party.
How long did that last? How often was that?
Well, it wasn't often.
I'm sorry, but Judge Lauren's face right now is hilarious. You can tell she's confused by the fact that Ms. Wynn seems to be so sure that Mr. Williams is not the father of her child. Ms. Wynn even goes on to say that Mr. Williams should have done a DNA test during the visits and not waited 25 years to bring the case to court.
Who did you grow up thinking was your father?
The man that signed my birth certificate, I met him like twice. I don't feel like we have a connection. I definitely don't look like him. I really don't feel like that's my father.
Oh.
There's no doubt that Ms. Wynn might have been an amazing mother to her daughter, but I don't think she can fill the shoes of a father figure in her daughter's life. Mayberry says that another man signed her birth certificate, but she does not have a connection with him, and she has only met him twice in her life.
Back in the day, like when this picture was taken, were you running around saying, here's my daughter, Quenisha?
Yeah, that's how I addressed her. When anybody asked me about her, I'll say this is my daughter.
Man, these two are just hilarious. Judge Lauren asked Mr. Williams if he had always referred to Mayberry as his daughter, and as you would expect, everywhere he went, as long as he was with Mayberry, he called her his daughter. I still find it weird that Ms. Wynn still can't remember having anything to do with Mr. Williams.
I mean, it seems like you're picking her up, you're taking her to the birthday parties with the other kids, and how did you lose touch?
I lost touch with them because they moved, and then the last I heard Quenisha, she was staying in Louisiana.
That right there just puts Ms. Wynn in a pretty tight spot. Mr. Williams says that when he found Mayberg on Facebook, he told her to ask any of her family members if he could be her potential dad, and they told her that there's a possibility that he could. If Ms. Wynn says she doesn't remember sleeping with him, why would the family members say that?
That other man. How did you know that?
Because we look nothing alike. There's no connection there.
So, Mr. Williams, can you tell the court?
Seems like that's the very question that's brought everyone to the courtroom today. Ms. Wynn keeps saying that Mr. Williams is not her father. If that's the case, who then is her father? You know what? I think we should get to the results. Since she doesn't know, I'm pretty sure the DNA results are going to have a good answer.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Williams, you are not the father.